Hello everyone! In today's video, I'm going to share with you what are, in my opinion, the 3 best and the 3 worst things about Kalahari Resorts. Okay, first I want to tell you, Kalahari Resort is a water park resort, and I think every property has both an indoor and outdoor water park. They also have other activities on the property. However, a lot of those will be an extra charge, so just be aware of that. The water park is always going to be included in the price of your stay at Kalahari Resort. However, you do need to be aware that Kalahari Resorts do also sell day passes to outside guests. So it is possible that there could be people in the water park with you who came there for the day and are not actually staying on the property. There are 4 locations of Kalahari Resorts. They are located in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, Sandusky, Ohio, Pocono Mountains, Pennsylvania, and Round Rock, Texas, which is the newest property and was just built within the last year or 2. I am actually going to start this video with the 3 worst things about Kalahari Resort. Okay, the number 1 worst thing about Kalahari Resorts is they are expensive. When you compare Kalahari to other comparable water park resorts, such as Great Wolf Lodge or something like that, you're pretty much always going to find Kalahari to be the most expensive option. The other thing that I would say about this is that it can be a lot more challenging to find sales or any kind of good deal or promotion at Kalahari than it is at other water park resorts. I actually made a video about how to get good deals at water park resorts, and I will link that right up here. And if you watch that video, you can kind of see more specifically what I mean. Okay, the second worst thing I would say about Kalahari Resorts is the rooms. And that might throw you off a little bit. And actually, the most popular video on my channel is a room tour I gave of a 2-bedroom royal suite at Kalahari Resort, and I will link that right up here. The rooms are okay, they're nice, and keep in mind, I have only stayed at the Wisconsin Dells property, so I can't speak for the other 3 Kalahari Resorts properties, but I guess what I am saying about the rooms is a couple things. They have different style rooms, but one thing I would say is I don't necessarily consider them the most family friendly. Whereas at Great Wolf Lodge, you'll have all these cute options with like little cabins built in them and bunk beds and a bear cave and couches, and it's just very cozy. I feel that the rooms at Kalahari Resort are very adult. They only will have queen or king beds. It's leather couches or faux leather, I'm not sure. And it's just kind of more of an adult dark vibe. And that's something I don't necessarily like or isn't as appealing, I guess, to my kids. And then I guess even though they have different room setups, the options aren't as interesting to me as some of the other ones I've seen at other resorts. And at least at Wisconsin Dells, they have refreshed them. I mean, I was going back and looking at pictures of all the times we've stayed at Kalahari, which is a good number of times. And I can even see different soft goods that they've had in the rooms over the years. You know, they've completely changed the bedding and the decor several times, even just at the Wisconsin Dells property. But the last time we stayed at Kalahari Resort, which is in the summer of 2019, I definitely felt like those rooms needed to be refurbished again. They needed a refresh. Stuff was getting kind of dated. And then the other thing that I would say is just the construction quality of the hotel part itself in the rooms is a little bit cheapy. The doors are hollow. The walls maybe aren't, I don't know if they're that thick. I've never had a problem with sound, you know, from the neighbors or above me or in the halls at Kalahari. So the walls might be okay. But I guess I feel like the doors within the rooms themselves, within the suites, like between bedrooms and the bathroom and such, are not that great of quality. So I guess the rooms, they're nice and they're fine. They're just not my favorite. Also, the rooms that do have balconies, the balconies are quite small. So just be aware of that. So I just kind of threw the rooms at Kalahari in the worst because they're not necessarily my favorite and I think they could be better. Okay, and then the third thing I put down as one of the worst things about Kalahari Resorts, and again, I can only speak for the Wisconsin Dells property, so tell me if this is true of the other three. It's very big. They're very big and spread out. The property in Wisconsin Dells, you can see even on the outside, which look at my tour of Wisconsin Dells where we drove all the way around it first before we went inside to see what I mean. They just kept adding on. They had like the main part and then they just kept adding more on. And so it just kept getting bigger and bigger and more spread out. And so if you are staying, for example, in Wisconsin Dells in the Sands building and you want to go to the theme park, the indoor theme park, it's at the complete other end of the resort and you are going to be doing a lot of walking. Even from the location of some of the rooms at Kalahari to the water park is pretty far. And you're going to have to be doing a lot of walking around to get from one place to the other. Some of the restaurants are really spread out from each other. It can be a good long walk. So that can be a real downside for some people. Whereas I've always found Great Wolf Lodge to be a lot more compact. It's also a big resort, but I feel like they just keep it more close together. Another resort that is very big and spread out, even more so than Kalahari, is Wilderness in Wisconsin Dells, which I also made a tour of that resort, so be sure to check that out. Let's talk about the 3 best things about Kalahari Resorts. Number 1 is the wide variety of activities. Kalahari Resorts really have a lot to offer. They have a lot of fun things to do inside the resort, in addition to an indoor water park, an outdoor water park. At Wisconsin Dells, they have the indoor theme park, which has bowling, laser tag, all sorts of arcade games and actual rides. They have a Ferris wheel, a little mini kiddie coaster, carousel, all sorts of stuff. They used to have another arcade at the other end near the water park, and they've actually transformed that now into an escape room and something else. I can't remember what the other thing is, but so they have a lot of things for your family to do. It can be a really great option for a getaway when it's winter and you can't do things outside, or even on a rainy day. So if you're staying in one of these, popular tourist cities and you can't go to, if you're in Sandusky, you can't go to Cedar Point that day because it's pouring down rain, you'll still have plenty of activities to do in the resort itself at Kalahari. Hi everyone, Future Heather here. I was in the process of editing this video and I realized that when I filmed it, I completely skipped number 2 on the best things about Kalahari list. Whoops! But thankfully I was able to dig my list back out of the recycling and remember what I had down for number 2. The number 2 best thing about Kalahari Resorts is they have a lot of dining options. As I talked about in my Best and Worst of Great Wolf Lodge video, which I will link up above, Great Wolf Lodge is very limited in its dining options that they have on the physical property. But Kalahari has a lot more dining options within the resort itself. And I can't even list them all. There's a steakhouse, there's a brew pub kind of place, there's lots of little, I guess you would call them quick service restaurants within the indoor theme park. There's another one down near the, outside the water park. There's food that you can get within the water park. I think there's even food you can get in the outdoor water park. I think there's another dining option upstairs in the bowling alley. So there's lots of different places that you can get food within Kalahari Resort itself, and that is one of the best things about it. And then the third best thing I would say about Kalahari is the quality and the commitment to their theme. So Kalahari is Africa themed. If you haven't been there, it's themed around Africa. Now, I think the name is a little weird because Kalahari is actually a desert, if you're not aware. But they make it kind of themed over just Africa in general, and they really focus on the safari kind of Africa. So big animals, elephants, cheetahs, gorillas, and Africa's enormous, and those are 3 completely different parts of Africa. But They take that kind of theming very seriously, and that's what the resort is themed like. And they actually, the people who own Kalahari actually travel to Africa regularly, not only to see it and get ideas, but to acquire actual artwork and artifacts from Africa that they display in the resorts. So they take the theming of their resorts very seriously. They do a lot of research and try to make it look very authentic. So that's something that's pretty cool about Kalahari, that you don't really see that level of theming anywhere else outside of like a Disney World resort. So those are my 3 best and 3 worst things about Kalahari resorts. Did you agree or disagree with my picks? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up down below. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please be sure to subscribe. I have lots more videos on my channel from Wisconsin Dells, so be sure to check out one of my 2 Wisconsin Dells playlists for more of that. Thanks everyone, and have a great day. Safe travels!